must pay homage to him.
What's poppin', everyone? Admire here. Now, just yesterday, Oukitel actually launched a new device, the Oukitel C18 Pro. Now, it retails for $99. Yeah, you heard me right, $99. It's very, very cheap. So, what exactly is in this phone that is making me actually make a video on it, besides the very eye-catching price? Well, there isn't really much about the phone to talk about. Oukitel isn't really a flagship killer device. They just produce these budget-friendly devices, which are sometimes mostly entry-level devices which you can use for just your daily everyday tasks and you'll be very comfortable with it. Now, this Oukitel C18 Pro is pretty interesting. Now, it has a modern design. I actually love the design. It reminds me a lot about the Huawei Mate 20, if you remember how that phone looked. The first time we saw it with that sort of square camera bump, it was pretty interesting, but it made the Huawei phone look unique, and this one is no different. If you look at the phone, you may actually think that this is the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. I think that was the point of making the camera module look like that. But then it's pretty interesting. Now, that camera module is housing a 16 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 5 megapixel macro lens, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, I'm fine with the 16 megapixel main camera. You don't need to push pixels. I've always said that. Even though the more pixels you have, the more sharp your pictures will be, but then everything still relies on software. My own issue with the entire camera system is that macro lens. Now, it's not that macro lens is bad. It's not that it has low quality or anything. My issue is not a lot of people take macro photos. If you check it, all right, look at yourself. Do you ever see yourself ever taking pictures of something like an ant or something like that? No, that doesn't happen a lot. So I don't really see a real world scenario for it. Not that people don't use it, but it's not as required. So I think a telephoto lens would have been better, but we can't complain. It's $99 for God's sake. So I will definitely not complain. Now, if you move to the front, this phone, I'm telling you, it's practically almost a Frankenstein of like the best parts of every different kind of phone that you know. Now, around the front, it looks like the Samsung Galaxy S10e. The only difference being that the hole punch is by the top left instead of the top right. But then it's a 6.55-inch hole punch display as opposed to the 5.8-inch screen of the Samsung Galaxy S10e. Is anyone going to complain about that? No. 6.55 inches is very good, and it's at a 20:9 aspect ratio, which is very good. So if you're playing games on this screen, you will have absolutely no worries about having space on screen to actually enjoy the games. The only place where you'll have a problem is the screen technology, which is IPS as opposed to AMOLED. Remember, this phone costs $99, so we can't nitpick. That's just the issue. At this price point, you can't nitpick because at $99, what you expect to get is practically just a trash phone. But then the main reason why I decided to look into this phone was the processor. Now, it's running a MediaTek Helio P25. Now, you may wonder, there are some other phones that have been launched that come out with the MediaTek Helio P35. Isn't the MediaTek Helio P35 better? I actually asked myself the same question, so I went and checked. And to my greatest surprise, the MediaTek Helio P35 is actually lesser in performance both in CPU and GPU than the MediaTek Helio P25. My god, so that means that PUBG will play a bit better on the Oukitel C18 Pro than it would on any other phone with the MediaTek Helio P35. General multitasking will feel a bit smoother than it would on another phone with the MediaTek Helio P35. I mean, I'm pretty impressed, I will not lie. Other specs include the 4 gigs of RAM that it comes with, 64 gigs of internal storage, which is also upgradable up to 256 gigs of internal storage, and it comes with a 4000 milliamp hour battery. Now, as of when I'm recording this video, I don't know if it supports fast charging, but at this price point I heavily doubt it does. The highest thing one person can do is, if you have a higher wattage charger, you can actually check and see if it will support fast charging. But then if you have a higher wattage charger, it means you have money to buy a more costly phone. So I don't actually think you need to buy this, but then it doesn't really matter. Now, this is just basically a quick impressions. It's not really a detailed impressions or anything. Let me know in the comments if you'll actually be interested in buying this phone. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.